If the creator of heaven and earth, the creator of everything that exists, can't be proven to exist, then how can a devil who has created nothing but trouble be proven to exist? Good question, isn't it? Truth is, the argument that there is no God is simply another deception by Lucifer. Lucifer never stops lying or doing everything possible to separate mankind from God. He never stops. The Bible teaches there is a devil, and it has a lot to say about him. Unfortunately, very few sermons are actually presented on the devil because of ignorance or fear. Christians don't like the idea of being told they are stalked by invisible, intelligent beings. If we could see as God sees, the actions of Lucifer and his demons would make us so furious and so angry that we would be moved to immediately terminate his existence. But God permits the devil to live and prosper on earth because God has a larger purpose in mind. And once this purpose is accomplished, the devil and his angels will then be destroyed. Well, you might ask, what purpose is so large and important that God allows the devil to remain alive? Well, I want to give you two sides of this huge purpose that God has in mind. And they dovetail together into one enormous story. First, God foreknew Lucifer's evil actions. He foreknew the loss of 1/3 of his angels. He foreknew the fall of Adam and Eve. And God predetermined the duration of sin on earth before sin ever occurred. He wrote it down in the book of life before the creation of the world. Before sin began, God did some basic math. And he calculated it would take 6,000 years to produce enough born-again sinners to repopulate heaven. I believe this is why he created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh. The weekly cycle is a template of earth's duration. And the Sabbath represents the 1,000 years during which the earth will rest from the works of sin. In this template, 7 days equals 7,000 years. Okay, the other side of this great purpose is that God is allowing the cancer of sin to mature to the point that sin will never occur again. God knows that if he gives sin enough time to mature, the universe will be so offended and disgusted with sinful behavior that sin will not occur again. So God is waiting for his larger purposes to be accomplished before destroying the devil. Now, earlier I made this point. When studying the behavior of people, it's very difficult to determine the devil's efforts on mankind since we already have a rebellious nature toward God. So does the devil really influence people to do things they would not otherwise do? The Bible indicates, yes, the devil does. Look at 1 Peter 5, verse 8. Peter is appealing to the saints. Be self-controlled. Be self-controlled. Don't be controlled by the devil, in other words. Be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Look at verse 9. Resist him. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that your brothers throughout the world are undergoing the same kind of sufferings. In Peter's day, you might remember the Christians were suffering for their faith. And Peter is encouraging them not to give in to their suffering, but to stand firm in their faith. Resist the devil. And James writes in James 4:7, submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil. Same words Peter used. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Verse 8, come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Resist the devil. Resist what you know is evil. Resist his temptations. Resist his influence. Think about this. The Bible teaches that the devil and his demons can take control of people. Jesus cast demons out of many people in the Gospels, particularly the book of Mark. And perhaps the best known story is this one, and I'm reading from Matthew 8:28. When Jesus arrived at the other side of the Sea of Galilee in the region of the Gadarenes, 2 demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. Notice the next sentence. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. Verse 29. What do you want with us, Son of God? They, that is, the demons, shouted. They knew who Jesus was. And so they speak through the voices of these 2 men. What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time? That's interesting. Demons know their time of torture, their time of destruction, their time of burning in the fire of hell is coming. And they shout at Jesus, have you come here to torture us before the appointed time? Verse 30, some distance from them was a large herd of pigs that were feeding. Verse 31, and the demons begged Jesus, if you drive us out of these 2 men, send us into the herd of pigs. Verse 32, Jesus said to them, go. Just one divine word, go. So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died, drowned in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off, and they went into town and reported all this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed men. Jesus set them free. The point here is that once a person becomes demon-possessed, they cannot set themselves free. This is a profound truth. Once a person becomes demon-possessed, he cannot set himself free. Demon-possessed people do not have control of themselves. They cannot exercise their power of choice. They are prisoners of Lucifer until or unless they are set free by divine command, divine power. No amount of medicine, no amount of counseling, no amount of therapy can set free a demon-possessed person. There is only one way out of demonic possession, and it is through divine power. This is a very important thing to understand, because a growing number of people are demon-possessed. Listen carefully. A growing number of people are demon-possessed.